I was just thinking this week how unfortunate it is to be chanting and not really be chanting, because whenever you do something the wrong way, it doesn't work. You don't get the benefit. Due to my great fortune in being able to teach about japa, I've been able to improve my japa to a point where I understand that there's a certain standard or a certain threshold, which when I go above it, I can call it japa. I can say I'm actually chanting. And when I go below that threshold, I personally feel that I'm not really chanting. This is not really japa. And just like when you're learning an instrument or learning a sport or learning an art, there's a right way to do it and the wrong way to do it. And when you do it the wrong way, you don't get the result. And when you do it the wrong way, your teacher will say, you're doing it the wrong way. That's not the right way to hold it. If you hold it in the wrong way, you won't be able to hit the ball. You have to hold it this way. And then they show you how you're holding it wrong. Or if you hold the violin in the wrong way, you can't play properly. Or you're sitting in the wrong way. And you can't sit like that and play the piano. You have to sit up at this height. So there's a way to do it. And once you do it, everything starts working. But if you're doing it the wrong way, it doesn't work right. And so often when I chant japa, I have the exact same feeling that there's a certain way to do it. And if I'm doing it that way, I'm actually chanting. It's not just physically doing it. It's also, or more importantly, the consciousness, the heart. And so there was this one situation in which a devotee had many, many problems, and he wrote to Prabhupada this whole list of problems. And Prabhupada said, the fact that you have all these problems means that you're committing offenses to the holy name, because you wouldn't have these problems if you were actually chanting properly. So I think it's so significant. And that a lot of devotees are really dealing with some serious issues, and they're persistent, and we're having difficulty overcoming them. Or we're not feeling really satisfied or happy in Krishna consciousness. Then I would ask you, are you actually chanting japa properly? Because to be able to go deeply into Krishna consciousness, you need to be able to chant properly. And if you don't have that behind you, or as we say in America, if you don't have that under your belt, then all these other problems are likely to come up, or you'll have a weakness. You'll feel weak in trying to fight these problems. Now, we all have problems. We're all in the material world. Maya is attacking. Modes of nature are all around us. We're affected by our culture. But when we chant properly, we're not so much affected by it. It still comes at us, but we're more resilient. We're more inoculated, so to speak. And we're trying to be Krishna conscious, and we're wondering why we're not Krishna conscious, and we have these same problems month after month after month, sometimes year after year after year. It's likely that we're not actually chanting. And so we can't move to a space where we're in a stable area of Krishna consciousness. Now, one time Prabhupada was speaking to a devotee who wasn't happy, and Prabhupada was saying, basically he was saying, it's not possible not to be happy if you're in Krishna consciousness. And you may say, well, sometimes I'm not happy. Well, then, what does that mean, I'm not happy? That means in Krishna consciousness, there's always happiness. So if I'm not happy, it means I'm outside of Krishna consciousness. And the quickest, easiest way to be back in Krishna consciousness is to chant properly. And if I'm trying to get myself into Krishna consciousness by hearing classes, getting sangha, going to kirtans, doing so many things, and I still feel somewhere I'm lacking somehow, I'm still dealing with problems that just seem never to go away, it's likely because your japa is not really japa. Now, I don't want to make you feel bad, although I probably just did. And I don't want to criticize you, although it sounds like I did. But really, what's coming from me is a sadness, because I see this happening a lot to a lot of devotees. They're not doing well in their Krishna consciousness because they're not actually chanting properly. They're just chanting to get their rounds done. That's it. It doesn't work. It's It's a holy name. It's something. But when you hold the bat wrong, or the cricket bat, or whatever they call it, the golf club wrong, the bowling ball wrong, hold the ball wrong that you're throwing, hold the violin wrong that you're playing, it doesn't work. It's the same thing with japa. It is not something you just do. It's something you get absorbed in and connect to deeply. That's actual chanting.